Other than that, I guess we're ready to go. And Teo, Dave, am I missing anything?
Nope, we're good.
All right. Well, we'd like to turn it over to Jamie Williams. We're so excited that he's here with us today to share his insight, and we'll pass it on to him. So take it away, Jamie.
Well, thank you very much for having me, and welcome everyone that's here so far. I'm really happy to see some familiar faces. Joe, great to see you. Yeah, and some of you I can't see your faces. If you want to make yourself seen, then it's also nicer for me because I can see, who is interacting. If you're comfortable with that, it's really nice to see the faces. And yeah, Teo, hey. What I'd like to do today is just take you through what I think is really important for a daily way of practice to whether you're out of shape, wanting to get into shape, or just maintain good shape. It's not going to be real hardcore, difficult exercises because I want everyone to feel comfortable to be able to make these exercises. It's basically what I've been doing online since April with my Rostock trombone class. I'm going to do the same, but we won't go so deep into many of the exercises. We keep them more on a simple basis. Okay? So again, thanks David, Jason, Teo for having me. And if you have any questions, just let those guys know, because definitely I will make little breaks. I want to make this not like a marathon, but a very natural process, as if I were in my home, which I am, and just having a nice morning to practice by myself. Okay, so here we go. Basically, I would like if everyone can stand up for this. And the very first thing when I wake up in the morning, or when we are moving from the bedroom to the bathroom, is we have movement. And in music, there is always movement. There's always a flow. And I find that a lot of people, when they warm up or when they start their playing, it's just without any kind of life. And for me, the most fun of playing the trombone is really making something. So everything that I do has some sort of concept. And there's this flow. I like to start basically with a movement, and we can just breathe in our nose very slowly and let it flow out the mouth. And in the nose. And let it flow out the mouth. And I get the mind set for, I really want it. Like if you're hungry and you know the food is there, but you have to just wait. So it makes it really something special. And everyone, you can just do like me. So then I take it in the hand, and it becomes part of the body. It's an extension of the body. It's something that's very natural. It's not like, now I play the trombone and very serious. There must be a concentration, of course, but keeping this life always in the sound. So I would start something without the buzz, just playing something in a nice flow. Wonderful. So as you see, there's always a movement. There's a movement of the air, there's a movement of the arm, and on the last note, I let it sing. I give a bit of vibrato, and I end the note sending it away. So it's like the sound is still in the air. Ba. It's going. So there's this continual flow. All right? Something else, when you start the first notes of the day or after a break, don't be hard on yourself. Don't judge yourself if the sound is not like you want. Use your ears to guide you to get to where you want to be. Okay? Now, we will do something. I want everyone to have an internal pulse. So this will be like 1, 2, 3. So just keep the feeling of the pulse, and you can watch me on the screen and I will kind of direct you. If you don't get it the first time, then you will get it after. You make a glissando, and the second connection is legato. Very good. Wonderful. I just want to interrupt to explain what I'm thinking when I'm doing this. What is my concept? So, as I said, I'm always feeling a beat. There's always rhythm. The beginning of the note, if the first sound is immediately with life, with energy. It's really, it's very alive in the sound. And as I said, you make glissando and then legato. When we have F B flat, F A, you can make it legato both, or you can smear it to make the legato, the glissando, to make sure your air is really going through, that you play sustained until the very end of the note. You have to blow through it. And then the end of the note keeps the quality all the way till the end. As we go lower, we need more air, but there's no excuse. We have to find the way using our body and the air in a very relaxed way to sustain full sound until the end. So we're going to back up to F B flat. Great, great playing, everybody. So, if you have inside of you a little bit of fear to start, or a little bit of fear to change the note, and there's a space, just be honest with yourself. Okay, the fear starts in the mind, and then we're connected in the body and we get tense. Many times I see people with their fingers on the slide very tense, or it could be the stomach is very tense, or behind very, very tight. So just, I like to stand, imagining myself like a tree. In my feet, I'm very aware of the contact to the earth, and I have roots, roots growing into the earth. So I'm very grounded, and my core, which is the mind, it's the center of the body, is very strong. I know exactly what I am doing, yet very flexible at the same time. So your arms are like the branches blowing in the wind. The fingers are like the leaves. Your face are like the leaves in the wind. So I'm always trying myself to be as relaxed in the face everywhere as possible, being aware then where is the tension, because there should be the tension in the music, but in the body you feel this electricity but not getting tight. And that's why I like to start with these beautiful long phrases, beams of sound. I try to get the most core in the sound as possible. So the next exercise we will repeat 2 times. The first time, play a full mezzo forte volume. The second time, a piano dynamic. And in the piano, keep the same quality of sound. Okay? Here we go. And since nobody can hear you, in your privacy, you can risk it a bit, Try to make this, I will try to be clean myself, but when I do this, normally I really go down on the soft to really have a great quality of sound in the soft, because I need that in the orchestra. I just want to interrupt here. I see sometimes people not moving at all. Of course, I don't want you to dance, but don't be so careful when you're starting the day, when you're playing these kind of exercise. If we get really so careful, it's not in the natural way. As I said in the beginning, feel the flow. Imagine the music is already playing and you just join in with the music. Good. Make sure when you go down into the lower register, especially tenor trombone players often get this kind of wide sound, missing the core in the sound. I like to really think about getting this core in the sound. I hope you know what I'm talking about. Um, okay, let's do just a few more. I like to continue this down until I can't anymore. I get in the pedal register and the notes, I just can't get them out. I tell you, I always had more of a natural upper register and I needed to work a lot on the lower. And I found that over the years that when I spend more and more time on the lower, it helps all the registers. So I like to spend a lot of time actually going down. So let's just continue a little bit more that we don't get too uncomfortable here. So if you're not sure, like the 8th position, somewhere around there, the 9th position, we continue like this. Just use your ears.
Quick question, Jamie.
Yeah.
I have a question really quick.
Yeah,
Are
yeah.
you continuing to hold the trigger as you go to the upper?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So you understand, I don't move the trigger here. I just leave it down the whole time. Yeah. And I don't move the slide. I just blow trying to hear it in tune. And last thing, breathe again so that you can sustain it. I'll show you. But keeping the beat, please. Again. Great. Very nice, everyone. So again, you know, when you do this on your own, just continue going down and down and try to keep the best quality of sound. It's also great for learning air control, keeping a steady airstream. If there are no questions, we can continue now to the next sector of this session. So let's go now to doing lip slurs. Lip slurs are always important for brass players, as you probably all know. We're going to start them very simple and get faster and faster. A lot of people ask about how to practice trills. Well, trills are just a fast lip slur, right? So as we continue, we can kind of practice our slurs, our lip trills at the same time, all right? We start in the first position. On the slide, we do very simple. I play, you play. Body, oi, 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 you. Body, oi, 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 me. Dee, oi, oi. Okay, so have fun playing with me, and I imagine you're there, and we're making this together. Here we go. Great, very nice. Very good. So again, this exercise you can just continue going down and down and down till you can't anymore. For time's sake, let's go to the next lip slurs. We go back to first position and we make a little more complicated this time. Just listening one time. So we just have F and B flat, okay? And the goal here is to really connect the two notes, okay? You know, in the French school, they do lip trills with F and B flat. Really, it's incredible. And, you know, let's just try to keep the quality of sound within this. Sometimes we get closed up or something happens. That's why we start slowly and then we get going faster. Okay? Once again, next time you play. Good. One time, just for everybody's head organization, let's just sing it together one time. Body, here we go. One. Body, dotty, 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 da. All right, now we got it. Third position. Great. Just another example. I'm just improvising on different lip slurs. Now I would like to start in the 7th position, and we're going to do lip slurs going until a bit more in the upper register. At this point, we're going to start working. We've done a lot of playing in the low. I think it feels very good on the chops. It was very simple, using a lot of air, a lot of long notes, singing. Now we're going to get a bit more lip flexibility going into the upper register. If you're not sure what I'm playing, you can play something else. I'm going to try to keep it very simple. 7th position. I like to gliss down sometimes just to check the sound. See, I keep that fat, rich sound in the lower and keeping the tempo. We're going to do this, what I just played, and staying in the 7th position, we do. And as we continue, we go even higher. Just for fun. Sometimes we just keep going more and more, but it should feel good. Here we go. Great, great. Of course, we can keep going. What I want to just interrupt this exercise with is to say that when I do this alone, you know, I'm not so academic about this. I'm academic in the sense that I try to keep the rhythm, I try to keep the quality of what I'm doing, but I just improvise, you know? So, but improvising with a reason. I might do something like, just something like that, you know, or any other way. I just wanted to interrupt to say that when you play, don't get stuck on your exercises because you think, yeah, I have to play this. Really keep them alive all the time. Keep it fun. Keep it interesting. Here we go. Fourth position. Everybody. Great. I hope that you feel comfortable doing this. If you don't, then either you're really out of shape or you're not doing it right. Okay, you need to just use your air to blow through. I like to think of it like a pyramid. So you have the shape of a pyramid. The low note is very, very relaxed and full and wide. And as you blow, it gets tighter, it gets more resistance, okay? And you just blow through it, and then when you blow from the top to the bottom, for me, it's more difficult, actually. Sometimes the rhythm is a bit off. One note is longer than the other. I have to really control the air blowing it down, all right? We're gonna do now the final two, second position, first position. And just for fun, let's just blow through it. If you miss some notes, don't worry. Just you know, blowing through it. This is something I did with one of my old teachers. By the way, most of these things, you know, are, of course, I had many great teachers I'm very thankful for, and they're kind of a twist, you can say, with my mentality, what I've experienced myself. But yeah, I mean, it's really important that you have fun with these exercises. So here we go. Second position. Very good. You know, it's actually nice to look at your face here because it's like looking in the mirror, and you can learn a lot. You know, we all do strange things with our faces, and so you know, when I go into the upper register, you know, now we were slurring to D or F, and just you know, make sure you're doing it with the air always, and in a very easy way. Yeah. Do we have any questions before we go to the next exercises?
Yeah, I actually do have a question. So when you're playing up there, are you thinking much about structuring the embouchure? I mean, it looks like it's very stable as you play up there. Is that something you really put attention to, or you just kind of let that go and focus just in the air? Could you maybe just talk a bit about that?
Yeah, sure. I mean, well, I guess the embouchure, I have to say that when I was young, I had my mouthpiece higher and I had a very good upper register. I played the trumpet parts, you know, and the horn parts in the band. And when I went to the first lesson I had with Joe Alessi, I was 15, and he said you have to change. You have to make it the rim lower, so like 60%, 40%, rather than 70-30, something like that. It wasn't a huge change, but and basically, you know, he said, okay, this is the way you make the low B flat. So I was very aware at a young age how the embouchure must look for specific notes. Yeah, I mean, I made a photo of the face about like this, and I wrote on the back low B flat, for example. That was a middle B flat, I think, but so I was very clear what it needs to look like. And I, I think when I play these through the lip slurs, I just make sure that it's staying flat, the chin, and here is strong, and in the middle is very, very soft. It's just, I mean, you can't overthink these things. It's quite crazy to say, yeah, this is, but it's basically what I imagine. Is here is like a rock, you know, all the way around. Here is very strong, and then here is just like the leaves flowing, very light, you know, not at all hard or something like that. And as I said, I use my air to blow through it. It's all controlled by the air. Anybody else want to say something? Or
Well, I was just going to ask a question. I get a lot of students who don't have a lot of lesson experience before they get to, you know, studying with me, and they've developed a lot of tension in their playing, and so they have basically no upper register, and so there's a real retraining that kind of needs to happen. when you talk about just, just let it go and just flow, and you're playing up to like the 12 partials. I have students that didn't even know there were 12 partials. Like it's a completely foreign part of the instrument. So how do you work with younger students who really like high B flats, B flat 4, like the Bolero B flat is a note they've never been able to play. Like, how do you kind of help them develop physically beyond that, and mentally beyond that? Do you do anything special, or do you just do this approach and just say, keep doing it and it'll eventually unlock?
Well, I don't, because all my students can already play there when they come to me.
Fair enough.
I'm kidding. I'm joking. That was the easy answer. No, I think that it's really important at a young age to understand how to go in the upper register correctly, and this is really, as I said, the air is really important. Um, having the right position. I mean, this exercise that we just did is one that I would do with young students to work on the upper register. I would start it slowly, and for example, in the first position, I would just start it slowly and go up one partial at a time. That's maybe what it would sound like for a student going up like this. So I would hear, okay, let's say the F, the partial, the F is getting a bit difficult. So I would start them then perhaps on a lower, for example. So against the grain, feeling this push, and then going to the next one. And yeah, it might sound today a bit forced to get it, but I'm getting the note out. Okay, and then maybe the next lesson, and you explain also, you have to be smart. You have to practice maybe 10 minutes and then take it off your face when you're working on the upper register. Don't force it up there, you know. So I would do things like this, but also make sure the students don't do it too much. Another exercise for the upper register would be to take a simple melody. Ask your students, what song do you like? You know, what maybe, I don't know, could be anything. And you start it in one key. That's all. Don't play the whole song because it's too complicated. It's good for the ear training. They have to figure out where the notes are. And before you know it, they're playing, they don't realize that they're playing notes higher than they thought they could play. A lot of times it's just in the mind that, oh, that's too high, I can't play past F. But that's just a mental block, of course.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Let's continue now. I think it's nice we continue playing. I would like to do something now for coordination. It looks very simple, but many people have trouble with the slide. So let's do some very simple. Good. Those of you who I see, it looks quite good. So the wrist is a bit flexible, right? Not too stiff, not too loose either. So the goal here is to have a very clean legato, to get comfortable. How is the balance between what you're doing with the air and the tongue? That it's very smooth, no glissando, very, very smooth. Now we add a middle note. We play 1, 2, 4, 2, 1. Make sure that the same intonation going down is going up. Great. So something that I see I would like to correct is that the shoulder should not be moving when you do this. Just you bring the trombone to your face, and from the elbow to the hand, that's moving. I mean, have minimal movement in the upper arm and shoulder. That's just very, very light. We do it again, this time pianissimo. Good. Now we continue. We add the 6th position. Wait, we'll do only one partial, okay? I heard my G a little bit out of tune, so I want to do it again. Make sure the C in the 6th position is low enough. I hear some of you a little too high. Great. So again, I'm just improvising as we did on lip slurs. I'm improvising on just slide coordination. You can also do the back and forth with 2 notes in the 5th, 4th, and 5th. It's nice just to get very comfortable with your slide. Now we play another slide movement coordination, but we turn it into a chromatic scale. The flow this time is triplets. Da 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 da. I start on the low F. I play 2 octaves. When I reach the upper F after 2 octaves, that's your first note. When you reach the top note, then I go down. Good luck. Great. Half step higher. good. Yeah, Joe. Joe is still playing. So when you start on the upper note, make sure you prepare the embouchure with your breath. The mouthpiece is on the lips. What's the next note? We're at G. So if we start on the upper G, okay, I'm set for that note, so that it's the chances are, if I'm clear in my head and right in the middle in the bullseye, that it will be there. Okay, here we go. G. Great, great, very nice, very nice. Okay, so at this point, we will go to some articulations, all right? So probably you're familiar with the Arban book. I will just play 4 bars and then you repeat 4 bars after me, okay? Bum ba ba bum 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 ba ba bum 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 ba ba bum bum ba. You bum ba ba bum 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 ba ba bum 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 ba ba bum. Okay? If you don't remember what I play, then just play something in the style of what I'm playing. Yeah, make sure that you have bounce to this. Pum, pum. It's not ba, it's ba, like a pizzicato. Great. So again, we can call this an exercise on staccato, on playing very light, but make real music out of it. My goal is never to make everything perfect the same. It's about making the flow. Some notes are more important than others. It's perhaps very much more European way of looking at things, could be. Um, Always to create something is the goal. Okay, now we can go into the exercise, which is the final one for this session. We will play arpeggios in 2 octaves and sometimes in 3 octaves. If you have bass trombone, you can play down an octave. I don't see everyone, so okay. Again, thinking in triplets. We play a full healthy forte. Make sure, because the air is going fast now, that the tongue is not getting in the way and making ugly attack. I want a full healthy whoa, not a bah, okay, not a smack on it, just full healthy sound. Half step lower. Be natural. Of course, the priority is listening. Let your ears guide you, but I'm also looking at my slide. I'm making the adjustment between the D sharp and the F sharp. I'm just aware of that. Or the high B natural, not really a high like an A natural. It's a bit lower than that. Yeah? Okay, now we go to A flat. C natural. Great. Now we're working our way, getting bigger and bigger. So exactly, we're going to go to G, 4th position, G. Try to make sure there's no space between the notes. Play very tenuto. That's how the air should be, okay? Great. D flat, I'm going to go for 3 octaves. Great. Very good. So I don't know if you could hear it, but I took a breath in the middle on the way down. I need that breath in order to keep the quality of sound until the end. So when I breathe, I make sure that the contact of the mouthpiece stays on the top and the bottom, and I breathe through the sides. And I do it in a way that my neighbor cannot hear me. It's very annoying when you have someone, it's so beautiful, like that, right? In the middle. So try to breathe quickly, efficiently, but silent. Okay, now we're on F sharp or G flat. I'm gonna try for 3 octaves. Usually I can't really do it. And I think you should always make the borders more and more. This is answering the question, Jason, about the upper register. If I want to work on my upper register, I would do something like this. I'm playing higher than I think I can with a normal sound, but it doesn't matter. I just go for it. Okay, so look, the lesson that I just learned, because we teachers learn so much by teaching, don't we? It's completely in the head. If you think you can do something, it's like I at that moment when I go for the high F sharp, something just comes about me that's strong from the head. But if you're always a bit, you know, this other way, it's not working. If you want to be really competitive, you have to be so strong in your head. So that's the end of the playing session, unless you guys want to do more. It's been a good hour or so. Anything anybody wants to ask about? Anything at all?
Hey. Thank you, Jamie, for doing this. Amazing. I just want to say that this is kind of, I've been in a lot of these warm-ups, and this is so along the lines of how I like to approach things also. It's so healthy. It's so great for my concept. I've taken you posted a video of you and your students warming up at outdoors. I watched that, and I think for several months later, every day, I was doing that exercise. One which you did today also. So these are fantastic. And
well, thanks a lot, Joe.
Yeah.
Maybe we did the yoga warm up on the video. Could it be?
It was I don't know if it was that one. It was the basic one. This one. That one is just fantastic. The way you approach that. That's the fact that you mentioned, you mentioned that I was still going in one of these exercises. You said, "Oh, Joe was still playing," because I did it an additional time. As you mentioned, you didn't like your exact intonation for a G. You do it again. You don't just stop because you got it out. If there's some, know thyself is what I think you're getting along the lines of, and doing what you need to do, for your purposes. I love it. So thank you. So also you sound like a true German now. I think you have a German American English accent there. So.
Well, in my home, French is the language spoken the most.
Do you speak French too?
Yes.
Okay. Wow. A true Renaissance man.
By the way, I forgot to mention, I promised I would say the instrument that I'm playing is a Yamaha Xeno, and I need to say that because they're sponsoring me for this event. And I don't have a kind of flag or something behind me. I just have some artwork there. But the Yamaha trombone I play as my main instrument, and I'm very grateful for that. Of course, I think with instruments, we never find the perfect one. You know, it's like a relationship. You might think you're completely fallen in love, and then you start to see the problems there. So, you know, it's finding an instrument is always uh, always a journey. Yeah, definitely.
Could you tell me a bit about why you chose the Zeno and why you like it, or the Yamaha brand? I've tried them a bit, but I haven't explored them that much.
Well, over the years, I played a lot of different instruments. Uh, Back when I was a student, I was winning instruments in the different ITA competitions. So I got to go to the factory, you know, and Edwards and Shires, and I got a Tyne one time. And yeah, I just went to a lot of places, and I got experience with instruments back in the day. And then I found a Bach 42B, which was my instrument of choice, where I first won a job in Germany with, in Dortmund. I played there for 6 years. And I just felt sometimes, you know, I did a few auditions. I did one time Concertgebouw in the, it's the job that Bart got. And it's like, I felt with that instrument a little bit heavy on the stage in the Concertgebouw. I needed something a little bit lighter, and I was with a colleague trying many different instruments of different brands, and I just found this one. And a year later is when I played it, and I got the job in Berlin. So it's you know, it's easier to play with the Bach. I have both horns here, and I have my Yamaha alto behind me. I find that they help each other, actually. I practice sometimes on my Bach, and then I play the Yamaha, and it feels like everything is just working so well. So, yeah. Okay.
I just want to say also, you mentioned that your low range was not as strong throughout your life career, but I remember 20 years ago or so when I first met you at the Alessi seminar. I think it was 2001. You were a participant. I remember you playing the Hindemith Sonata, and your low range sounded fantastic. So I think whatever you needed to do, you were already doing back then. You're thank you for spreading your energy and your thoughtfulness. You're an awesome dude, Jamie. So thank you. Yeah.
You're very sweet, Joe, and I hope that we can meet soon again.
I would love that. Let's do it.
Jamie, I have one question for you, actually. I remember you were mentioning about when you're playing the low register, you try to keep the focus in the sound. And kind of in my own personal playing, I find that that gets very challenging around the low C. But then I don't feel like that has the same problem in the pedal register. I think it's something to do with the valve and that slide position being way out there. Have you ever encountered this or found any ways to work on that or approach that? Or is that something that ever come up for you?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the low C is, for me to play that note in tune with a good quality. So that's one of the best qualities I can make. I'm sharp. I don't know if you guys, I don't know if you can hear it, but I'm sharp on that note. So I have to play that note really either sharp with a good quality or a bit with the lips on the lower side. The B natural, of course, is we don't have it on the tenor, on the single valve. Although I have a few students over the years that have been able to play a low B natural. It sounds amazing. They play it around the between fourth and fifth position with one valve, and with the lips in the air, they make it sound very good. And then, as you say, the pedal register, of course, it's more focused because it's natural on the harmonic series of the instrument. The low C is just so much tubing.
Yeah, I have the same problem. It's either going to be sharp with a good sound or if it's going to be flabby sound but in tune. And I can never quite find which one is the lesser of two evils, so to speak.
Well, we don't have to use it very much, do we?
Yeah, that's true. Unfortunately, sometimes if I pull the valve out, I can sort of make it work, but then it throws everything else off. So, yeah. All right, get a second valve. Didn't
Do you
Charlie
do you rec-
Brian?
do you recommend to do the low beat where you suggested instead of seventh, like off this almost off this line?
Oh,
Have you ever done? Have you seen people doing it down there?
yes, but okay. So I have a former student who has he's from Israel, and he's like, you know, very tall boy, and he can play the most incredible low B natural around 4.5 position, and the seventh position he can't do it nearly as well. I can't do either, so don't ask me.
Great.
Well, shall we wrap it up?
Yeah. Any other questions or no? Are we good? Yeah. I mean, that was great. Thank you so much. I love like how you're playing is so organic, and you're talking right at the beginning about like kind of wanting it and like kind of tasting the note or that kind of before you play, like you know, with food. I love that analogy. So thank you. That's a great way to approach it.
I
Well,
feel like,
I
sorry,
I
go
think
ahead.
that there are two things. There are two aspects. There's the physical aspect. So that's blowing the air, feeling the trombone in your hands, feeling your body moving with the instrument. This is very physical, and we get addicted to physical things, don't we, as humans? If we're used to doing something every day, we crave for doing that exact thing. So that's one aspect. The other is music. So music is creating, music is fantasy, music is using a part of the brain which is not the methodical part of the brain. We talked about this more in the last lesson, that you are spontaneous as well. You have a plan, but you're able to get outside of this plan. So it's for me, it's these two very different things. It's the physical need. My wife used to tell me on vacations, go practice. I think I was just very annoying. She knew that I needed to get that out of my system. So I mean, I must say I had yesterday really down afternoon. I was just feeling really, I didn't, I wanted to go to the bar and drink beer, but then I thought, no, I don't need that for myself. So yeah, I found another way to get out of that low moment, but that low moment comes because I miss playing concerts every evening. I was playing before, I play in the opera orchestra, or I'm teaching or playing somewhere else. My life was completely busy, like many of yours. And now I'm teaching, but it's the lack of the every evening, every day is for this evening, what I'm doing. You know, I don't have a glass of wine with lunch because I know I need to do this, or, you know, it's like everything a bit more calculated. It's nice to have free time, but enough is enough.
Well, it's been fantastic, Jamie. Thank you so much for sharing with us and, you know, giving of your time, but also, you know, I feel like similar to your concept of energy, I feel like every time that you collaborate with someone or you share with someone, you're almost giving a piece of yourself to them, and then they take that piece with them, and then it becomes a part of their playing, and then they can pass it on, whether they know it or not. Like a little bit of your sound is now in my sound, and when I play and someone else hears it, and then they'll get a little bit of your sound that way, and it just kind of ripples and ripples. And it's thank you so much for sharing and bringing that to us and giving that to us. It's very, very giving of you, and we are deeply appreciative. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
So we'll wrap it up there. And for those of you, many of you have been to the website. We have several people already scheduled and lined up. So go to the website, jasonsolomon.com or trombonehang.com, and you'll find your way there. And then you can see the upcoming schedule. You can see people that are coming, and we've got more great insight coming. So check that out. But if you have any questions, reach out to us, and we'll see you at the next hang, hopefully. So. Special thanks to Jamie. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Jamie. It's all lovely.
Pleasure.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Bye-bye, everyone.
You well, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye, Jamie.